And my heart goes out to those in Mexico where there was an earthquake, and Puerto Rico and Miami area and Houston. Getting a quick run on our break here. This is Devil Lake. I'm not sure what this is called, but it is absolutely beautiful. It was suggested by Scuba that I run it, so I'm taking a quick run. First time you see me without a hat, probably. I shaved it. I had a man bun just a few days. Anyways, I'm excited to be with you this morning on Sunday, wrapping up the time with you. Those that will be watching this online at a later point, I got a chance to be at an amazing retreat for Wisconsin and Minnesotans, and I got to be around young people. I love the next generation. I'm going to finish my run, but I do have a thought for you this morning. And while I finish my run, would you just absolutely enjoy the beauty that is around? I was just down there, climbed all the way up here. I was way down there just a moment ago, climbed up here, thought the view would be much better up here, and I was right. I mean, anytime you can get on top of something and look down, priceless. I want to take a moment and wrap up our time together this weekend. This is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be video. As you heard yesterday, I'm a church planner, and we have an opportunity today to speak in Lake Zurich, Illinois, at a church that would hopefully continue to be a partner with us with finances. And so pray for us for a moment, because as you're watching this, I'm teaching there 2 times. It's a very busy weekend for us, and I didn't want to miss an opportunity to wrap up our time together. And so I thought that we would shoot a video and allow me to express my heart to you in one last thought. And again, remember, we always ask this question: what is Jesus saying to you, and what are you going to do about it? Ask yourself over the next few moments, what has Jesus said to you all weekend, and what are you going to do about it? A real follower of Jesus, somebody that follows Jesus, listens to what he says and does something about it. I want to wrap up with a thought. In light of what's happened in the news, what's happened in our world, what's happened at your school, in your family, what does Jesus have to say on it? And I alluded to it on Friday night in one of our talks, but I want to really take a moment and really read a verse or cite a verse to you from what Jesus has to say about what we're supposed to do in culture. But before I do that, I need to get down from here. So I'm going to start my journey back down onto the path. And then we're going to talk about what does Jesus have to say into the culture, the mess that we see everywhere. What Jesus has to say on said topic of culture can be found in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. We're going to title this, if you would like one, Stay Salty, My Friend. We're going to talk about being salty. But I got to finish this run, headed back to the campground where we're staying, and I'll finish this thought. But you can think about where we're headed when I'm saying stay salty. In light of what Jesus is saying, be salty inside of culture, what does it mean to be salty? When I look at nightly news from what's happening in Las Vegas, which my heart goes out to all the families and the victims, I can't believe someone would do that. What does Jesus have to say on that? And my heart goes out to those in Mexico where there was an earthquake, and Puerto Rico and Miami area and Houston. I mean, if you watch the vlogs on our YouTube channel, we try to see needs and meet needs no matter what they are, because we want to do what Jesus said to do, and that's to be the salt of the earth. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, Jesus begins a conversation, or he's in the middle of a conversation with a group of people, telling them that they must be the light of the world and the salt of the earth. What does it mean to be the salt of the earth? That's salt. In Western culture, that's what we think salt is this salt shaker. We use it to flavor things. It makes things taste so much better. Like today at lunch, when we had some nice chicken or fish, I'm not sure what it was, but it was breaded, and then we had macaroni and cheese. What did I do? I put some salt on it to make the taste better. In our culture, we use salt to taste good. So is Jesus saying to us that we should make culture taste better? That we should be a seasoning? Or could it mean that Jesus means actually something else? More to the story than we should make things taste good. What does Jesus mean that we are supposed to be the salt of the earth? To make culture taste good, we are to preserve culture. That's what salt was used in the days of Jesus. It was a preservative. They would put it in their meat because they had no refrigerator system to preserve the meat, to make it last longer, to make the quality of the meat to be preserved. If you didn't put the preservative of salt into the meat rots. So Jesus is coming along and speaking to you and me and saying, hey, as followers of Jesus, we are to preserve of being the follower of Jesus, how to be slow to anger, how to be selfless instead of selfish, how to love everyone even if they share a different opinion than you. That's being salty. It isn't a taste thing, it's a quality thing. It's keeping culture from rotting. If we don't, who will? If we don't become the preservative for culture, who's going to do it? Is it going to be some scientist that's going to try to preserve culture? Is it going to be some new religion that thinks is the way? When in reality, we have the key to preserving culture, to keep it from rotting. And if you're like me, you look at the nightly news and it looks like it's rotting, and that's because not enough of us followers of Jesus are actually being preservatives. We're just trying to make things taste better. We're trying to make being a follower of Jesus cool, which it probably is, but it's not about the cool factor. It's about preserving life. It's about preserving the way to do life. Are you preserving? Are you teaching? Let's say it this way. Are you teaching people how to be a follower of Jesus? Can they watch your life in the way that you do life with your parents, with your, if you're married, your leader? Well, Can they look at the way you do life and say that's how you are to be a follower of Jesus? Can they look at the way you do social media and know that you're a follower of Jesus? Say it again. If we don't act as a preservative, we will allow culture to rot. And if we only share our opinion and don't point people to Jesus, then we will never bring on change, because Jesus is who does the changing, not us. When we just share our opinions, we're picking a fight. We're not actually hoping that this person that I'm speaking to via text message or social media actually finds Jesus. As our time at this campground comes to an end, may you walk out of here on a new mission, that you're going to be a preservative to the culture that you live in, that you're going to point people to being a follower of Jesus, not to be on your agenda. Again, this is to not be confused with, well, that means we don't do anything inside culture. No, this means we have a loud voice in culture, but it's pointing to the what does Jesus have to say on said topic instead of my topic. Can you be the salt of the earth? I will answer my own question. It is yes, but we have to be intentional on being the salt of the earth. You have to go back to your school on Monday morning saying, I'm going to stay salty, my friend. You're going to have to go to the football game on Friday night and say, I'm going to be the salt of the earth. You're going to have to go to that concert that you want to go to that you know some shady things might happen. You better be the salt of the earth there. Don't lose your saltiness. If we don't, who will? If we don't stay salty or we do not point people to Jesus, who's going to do it? Let me wrap up with the way I started my time with you on Friday. What is Jesus saying to you, and what are you going to do about it? And ask that question on everything that happens inside culture, because Jesus is always speaking on the topics in culture. We just have to do our job, ask the question, find the answer, and then tell people about what does Jesus have to say on the topic. But always tell it in love. If you tell it in any other version than love, that's not Jesus. Jesus is always loving. May some words that I have said this week or sometime online on a vlog may have inspired you to go after Jesus. Thank you so much for allowing me to hang with you this weekend, and I hope you guys all have safe travels home. May also the Vikings win over the Pack. And the last question I have about Wisconsin is, why is there so many stinking box elder bugs around here? They're everywhere. Like they're in my suitcase already. I'm going to be importing box elder bugs from Wisconsin back to Minnesota. Is that okay? One last thing. If you like this style of video, or you want to just follow the church planting story of my family and I in Maple Grove, Minnesota, go to YouTube, type in Scot Mendenhall, and it should pop up. You see my face. It's called the Whatever Vlog. We vlog whatever we're into. Subscribe. We would love the followers. We would love you watching our stories and leaving comments. Thank you so much once more for hanging with me this weekend. Bye.